Okay, getting the first big.
Oh, get three, Pyro, get three with the.
Blade Kid putting on a clinic. 14 down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Hello, Overwatch fans, and welcome to another day of Tranquility, Overwatch Tranquility, and happy to be here. I am Warscast, joined here by MPC, and I'm happy to be here for a knockout round in the Transcendence tier playoffs. We have Skybox seated at that number 7 position versus Atlas Arcadia, just one slot ahead of them in that number 6, and they are fighting for their lives here to keep on going in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, these are my favorite matches to watch. The 6 seed and the 7 seed, right in the middle of the pack, fighting at the very, very top of the elimination bracket. So it's win or go home for these teams, but they are at the very, very tippy top of the mountain. And this is going to be some top tier gameplay here coming out of both of these teams. We've got Skybox with almost a full roster of players. They've got quite a few players, so their flexibility is just going to be off the charts. They're going to be playing different heroes, different players on different maps, depending on what the meta may be, against Atlas Arcadia, who have exactly 6 players. So they're going to be playing the same roster on every single map, trying to counter what Skybox is throwing out. And Skybox were winless at the very beginning of this. They started off pretty rough, and maybe this is their redemption arc. We don't know. They're really fighting here.
Yeah, like you said, I think a lot of people counted them out, even after that first stage where it seemed like it was kind of over for the roster. They were winless. They didn't have much hope, and then knockouts come around, that elimination pool, and they do quite well for themselves, managed to secure a 7 seed, which considering the start isn't expected in the slightest, and they managed to come out on the 7th seed. Their first round opponent, Celestial Wind, did have to remove themselves from the tournament due to roster issues. Unfortunately, we haven't seen them yet in the playoffs, but Atlas Arcadia going down to Bird Society Ibis, and that's no easy opponent either. So that's not a hard win, a hard loss to kind of take. As it's definitely a hard opponent to go against. And come against Skybox, I think you want to bounce back, try to show people that it was just a tough opponent you're facing, and that's not representative of how far you're gonna go in this playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the amount of talent in the Transcendence tier is insane. All of these players, 3,800, 3,900. We're seeing some very, very high end players, especially for a plat player like me. I look at these players and I'm like, wow, these are some amazing plays. I'm looking forward to seeing the flexibility that Skybox is going to pull out here. Skybox have a few lower SR players, Turtle and Worm, coming in at below 3,300. But that helps offset a lot of their talent, like Glay and Firelex and Grim at 3,700, 3,800. So they've got a lot of talent on that roster, and we're going to see them flex to the heroes that they're more comfortable with. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that flexibility coming out of Skybox.
Yeah, as we look forward towards this match now, we've seen the past for these two teams, what the journeys into here. Not so much Atlas Arcadia in terms of the couple stages, but very solid stages. And the playoffs looking to improve to a solid run. As we look forward now to this match is going to be Busan, as we always start on Control. And Busan, interestingly, like most other control maps, does have a lot of variability in those compositions that you can run here.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the map we're gonna get. We're gonna get downtown, we're gonna get Mecha Base, or we're gonna get is it Shrine, the last one with the drum and the bell. But I think it looks like we're going to be on downtown for this first one, which has a lot of that high ground space. So it's a lot of Widowmakers. You're going to see a lot of Ashe. You're going to see players that are going to give some range, especially at the very beginning, to get those opening picks out there in that courtyard so they can win control of that fight, win control of that point, and then kind of set up on that little fortress. And that gives you a lot of high ground and low ground to kind of duck and cover and get out there and defend. So this is a very hard point to retake once you've established control. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming out here.
Yeah, and just now we have these teams rolling on out of the spawn. Same tank compositions, but everything else is quite different here. It's going to be that 6-man composition coming out here for Atlas Arcadia as the engage already coming into that back line. They're already losing their Ana in the fight. Sumi after is going to flip away from their favor. They've lost their main healing, and that kind of spells doom in this kind of a composition.
Yeah. The 6-man is definitely going to favor the Atlas Arcadia. The Atlas Arcadia, because they're able to dive the slower healers like Worm and even Mercy to an extent. But that Pharmacy does have some range, and we are seeing that be effective here if they can just stay out of range of the dive.
Yeah, I'm going to be relying on Turtle for that long-range damage. Already taken out one Squishy, looking for another. Might just find it in that Moira. Doesn't find it just yet. The Concussive Blast isn't enough, actually. Could be helping out. Worm getting in on the action. They're going to take out Sir Olin. Gonna help out their Vera where they couldn't finish it off, but couldn't help their Vera stay alive there, as now the Monkey Go in the back line does take out that Tracer in the fight. Now going chaotic here. Allowing that chaos allows Turtle to be back into this fight. Again, that long-range damage is back in. The Reaper cannot touch it. Has to Wraith form on out. And now it's just the Nano going onto the backside, looking for something, anything as the fight extends even further. Death percentage ticking up, and you're desperate here to start making some progress on this point, and that you will after this barrage goes off and after your picks come into me after. But it's gonna be the Reaper trying to deny that, trying to stop this this destruction happening on their point, and the Reaper ult is gonna try to go for that exact case there, as their ult's being flown even in this fight that's gone super long.
Yeah, using ultimates is actually good value here because Atlas Arcadia, they're trying to capture this point. They've got this point. They're trying to stall it out as long as they possibly can. Skybox are just coming in and feeding in. And so Atlas Arcadia using one ultimate after another to keep controlling that point as that percentage keeps ticking. It's just working in their favor. The Reaper ult may not have gotten a whole lot of value, but it did stall and zone the objective long enough for RMM to come back and get that sound barrier.
Now it's up to 90% and counting here, and no support ults available. How will they take this fight? We've kind of just mirrored compositions right here. Everyone's swapping on over, trying to get their equals, trying to see if the mirror match will help them out in this fight, but the mirror match so far hasn't supported them. It's so back and forth right now, as the bombs are even traded out, resulting in the loss of Grim there. Your main tank on this point is now gone, as Solo trying to accrue that Winston primal range as fast as possible to clean off this point. Maybe they even knock them off this point in that situation, but doesn't even look like they'll need it. Just a consistent amount of damage is all that's needed to take out those squishies left on that point and secure it 100-0. After a bit of a scrappy mid-fight, it does end up going the way of Atlas Arcadia.
Yeah, it does. Skybox didn't make the changes that they need to make fast enough. We did see Worm switch over to the Lucio, and I believe we saw Turtle switch over to the Sombra, which gave a little bit of advantage there, but it just wasn't enough because the snowball potential on these control maps is just really strong. But here, it looks like we're going to see Glay switch over to a Reaper, which is going to be a great counter to Solo's Winston. But it might not work out. It might not be enough, but it looks like they're going to something a little bit different on both ends. Oh my gosh, Atlas Arcadia running out here with the Zen Brig. Okay. All right. I believe.
This is a high execution composition here. This is something we've seen at the highest levels of play in Overwatch now for quite some time, as it relies heavily on some very good tank and support play to keep this team in the fight. And they already started out quite well, taking out the opposing Grim. A lot of that front line is now gone here for Skybox. as they now just have to back up once they lose that Diva mech. There's nothing they can do. They can't eat any of the damage. The ball is going to go and look for some amount of damage and try and get that slam off. He'll lose his life for it. With the rest of the team trying to follow up, Newton certainly does. But now the fight is going all the way in Skybox's favor. Now they just have to run.
Yeah, Skybox doing a fantastic job of coming back here. Being kind of down at the very beginning, I thought for sure they were going to back out, but no, they came back in. They were on some fast heroes. They've come in, and I think that Reaper is putting in work. Solo now in that Wrecking Ball, though, it's 72%.
Yeah, a lot of ult charge was accrued in that last fight, specifically by Solo, Serlin, and those DPS. You're going to be looking towards that EMP, try and set up this next fight. Of course, if that Coalescence comes out before the EMP, you could see that getting canceled, but Newton isn't going to get the opportunity to do just that, and Skybox, smelling that pick, knowing that they're down and disadvantaged in this fight, are just going to speed forward with the help of Worm and try to just take this fight as fast as possible, try to eliminate the enemies, try to just clean this all up, and that they will.
Yeah, cleaning up the fight here and building up ultimates of their own. That was critical for Skybox. Now they have the Diva Bomb, they've got the Death Blossom, they've got their own Coalescence and Sound Barrier online to counter the EMP, the Mines, and Hypernut has switched onto the Soldier, abandoning the ultimate altogether.
Yep, gonna just say, I don't need that ultimate right there, as the EMP is gonna supplement that to make up for that lost ult. It's even gonna be Solo throwing in those mines. I'm not sure how much value that's gonna get. It's not gonna be enough to save him, that's for sure. As Sorolin is forced to use that trans, maybe to try to save Solo, but just too late. The bottom of the backside, though, is gonna find two. That's an amazing flip on this fight. Now it's even 4-4. The Reaper is gonna go low, 4 HP, and loses it to a simple melee kill. And now flagging on this point is the plan. You have this what else pushing forward, looking for anything here to take this fight back in their favor, and finally they managed to get a flip on that point.
Yeah, that was an amazing fight there. Worm did a fantastic job of hiding and staying out of the LOS of that EMP. That EMP comes in, and Worm says, not today, drops that Sound Barrier. They end up losing the fight eventually, but they got a lot of percentage point at 84%. This is almost one fight territory here. If they can recapture, it's just going to be staggers from that point on for Atlas Arcadia, and we are going to see a round 3.
You have Turtle on that backside looking for that EMP, looking for Sorlin, doesn't find it, just decides to throw it on that Brig, and the Brig will lose their life for it, and now that's the fight is going to get cleaned up here. The manual hack comes out on the Diva, and there's nothing they can do to save themselves. They don't have access to any of their key abilities. Hypernut is going to be throwing off that attack visor in the corner, but there's just nothing they can do. They have a Diva in their way. Stella doing a great job of keeping that in check with that DM, and now 90% counting. It does not look good here for Atlas Arcadia.
Yeah, definitely not. Hypernut there using that tactical visor. It just kind of a last-ditch effort, maybe to clean up the play, maybe a hero play there, but looks like 99%. Somebody's got a touch.
Gonna interestingly throw out that bomb before the Diva even comes out to contest, possibly maybe to catch them if they try to be a little bit too overzealous on the recontest. The EMP on the backside only catches one, only Turtle. The Sombra is caught in that EMP, and it just allows Glay to just clean up that fight so immensely with that Death Blossom. A missed opportunity potentially to take back that fight, and they will pay for it.
Yeah, so we did get to see a lot of the flexibility here that I was talking about from Skybox. Atlas Arcadia playing a fantastic game at what they're good at. But, you know, it just goes to show you the snowball potential of defending a control point. Once you get there, he who caps first typically wins the round. So we're going to see here, this is Mecha Base. This is for all the marbles match point here on this first map. I'd be excited to see some sort of a dive. I know that rush is probably going to be a little better here, but it looks like they're going over to some sort of a rush or a brawl almost, with a May on both sides. We're gonna see whose wall is best.
And I think the biggest difference here is that it's going to be between Hypernut and Turtle, as one is running that Cassidy, the newly named Cassidy here, as we do in fact have the Hanzo on the other side looking for something, and already the Cassidy showing off that ability to stun out the enemy opponent, but you've already lost Glay. Your control over the map is gone, and also that CC that's so valuable to this comp is now just gone, and with that your control of the fight is gone as well, and you'll just take this L and move on.
Yeah. I love how Cole Cassidy is named CC for a reason. That stun and fan the hammer is super strong, but apparently not against Hypernut on that Hanzo, coming in spamming the damage, burning down that shield. It's exactly what your team needs. Now it looks like Atlas Arcadia are going to be holding here.
Yeah, as they decide it's time to start building the walls there as the shadow comes down, full on their back, and nothing they can do to stop Solo's rampage as he swings through the entire enemy team and takes out the fight single-handedly. And a really nice job there to keep their point control growing.
Oh, wow. What patience from Solo there. I would have charged straight through and tried to push them all off the map, falling off the map in the process. That's what I would have done. But my brain is small, and Solo's brain is large. Jumping around that wall, getting that Earth Shatter, and turning that fight back around for Atlas Arcadia.
Now we're looking towards this choke fight. The window already going to come out. The Fire Strike to go through it, trying to catch out a Squishy, but the DM is there and active. Gotta be quick on that draw with that DM that they are. Now it's time to run over to the side, looking for the High Noon on the side. It does finally make Diva. That's a valuable asset gone in this fight. You don't have that DM to stop Cassidy from raining down hell from above. And even an 8 onto Hyper Natanzo Dragon. There's just too much done here with the absence of this Diva. You cannot help your team. And you're just ulting in their face. Nothing good can come of that, especially not in this fight.
Yeah, that switches. The point has been switched over to Skybox now. Looks like neither team is really switching up their compositions. We do have a lot of ultimates coming online for Skybox here. They took that fight without using very many ultimates, so now they can hold for quite some time, getting one pick at a time.
One pick at a time is the name of the game, and of course it's going to start with that main tank. The first man through, Solo, has to go on a little solo adventure there through the choke and ends up for his troubles dead and back in spawn.
Yeah, I like what Atlas has done here. They're going to try to rotate up here. They're going to try to use their wall offensively. There we go. And now they're coming around the corner and right into that. Stella was hungry. He woke up and did not have his breakfast. Started eating 2 ultimates and is looking for more. The beat is going to be used to engage here, but the counter beat from RMM is later. The Lamp gonna try to save Grim as much as possible. Maybe Glay will look for something possibly with this Blizzard, but not quite pulling the trigger on it just yet. Looking for the Baby Diva on point. Everyone like turning around and not helping Grim there, who's left out to dry on that top side. And finally, the Blizzard is gonna be invested, realizing how desperate this fight really is. As Cassie jumping from the high ground, looking for this Assassin's Creed assassination there, but cannot quite find it. As Turtle now free to kind of fire on this flank. The Diva not really there to present in this fight to stop them. RMM getting a little too zealous there and does take out his life. Ooh, but Solo deciding to clean up this miscreant in the back. Yeah, I think the name of the game here for Skybox is just kind of stall that point, get as close to 90% as you can possibly get, and then die on the point. It almost looked winnable there for Turtle to get that Cassidy High Noon, but it didn't pay off. Only got one, and it was Lucio who's fast and coming back. I love what Solo's doing here, using the shield to poke around. Oh, this is better.
Can't quite find it. Grim is knowledgeable in the ways of the jump shadow around the corner, and now it's on the Mei to try and get out of this pickle by themselves. They even got a solo ult the Mei, but unfortunately, they just run around the corner, and Snowball there does not reach around corners. The LOS does not work like that as the bomb gonna go engage. Oh, but Ryan died solo with a snipe onto the Reinhardt. Drops the shield at the last second, they lose 2 squishies for it, and now the fight is just all but over, and the map all but over as well. Atlas Arcadia fight back in the 3rd round and take the first map in the series.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful timing on that Diva bomb with that fire strike from Solo, taking down that shield. He says, "Don't worry, guys, I got you. I'm gonna protect the team," and just died to a fire strike, and the rest of the team was down after that. So, excellent timing and coordination from Atlas Arcadia. But I told you guys this was going to be a banger of a match. This was back and forth every step of the way. We're going to see a lot of flexibility coming out of these teams, a lot of different compositions. We've seen Hanzo, we've seen Cassidy, we've seen Mei, we've seen Sombra, we've seen Tracer, we've seen Soldier, we've seen a little bit of everything, and I can't wait to see what we see next.
Yeah, and I mean, looking towards the next map here in this series, it is going to be that Assault, that 2CP. Very mixed opinion game mode, of course, as everyone now knows, will be removed in the next iteration, the next evolution.
I miss
of
it already.
Overwatch.
2CP is my favorite kind. I really do. I love 2CP because I feel like it's always winnable. Unlike the control maps where, like I said, once you capture that objective, you really have to start, the clock is ticking. 2CP, you get a lot of chances to capture that first objective. And if you capture that, you get a lot of chances to capture the second, and it's always winnable. Even if you get rolled on the first attack, you can change up your strategies. You got a few seconds to stop and breathe and talk to your team and say, this is what we need to do to counter it. Make your changes, come back stronger, and you can win that. And it's always winnable on 2CP. Control maps, like I said, they have a potential to snowball, just like escort maps in kind of a similar fashion. But this is I get why people don't like 2CP. Sometimes the games can last a long time and then you end up losing. So I'm excited to see what map they're gonna pick. I'm a fan of Hanamura myself. That's kind of my go-to 2CP.
Yeah, and Hanamura has definitely been one of the most popular 2CPs when given the choice of pick, and I believe for playoffs it is going to be loser pick. How it generally
is. So it looks like Skybox is going to get to pick. Another popular pick is, of course, Volskaya, has lots of sight lines and a good first choke, and then the second choke is even better. It's a lot easier to kind of hide for both the attack and the defense, kind of around those choke points and take those fights early. But it looks like they are going to go to Temple of Anubis. That's an interesting choice. That's one of the least favorite of the 2CP maps. But you know what? Maybe Skybox has practiced Anubis. I know that when Get Off My Land played, Paris was still in the map pool. We were undefeated on Paris because nobody played Paris. But we did. We played a lot of quick play.
Yeah, a classic. Man, the old days back when I ran a team in open, not ran a team, but it was one on team in open division. And Paris in the map pool doing Goats meta all the way back then. Yeah. And it was when teams were like playing Goats meta. And we would just be like, man, we don't want to play Goats on this map. Even though it was a heavy Goats map, we were like, we're just going to set up a Bastion here. We're setting up a Bastion here. And they're not getting through it. Some teams got through it when we got rolled by like a 4.5 team. It happens. But yeah, very fun, if not novel map that was.
Yes, a very defining moment in Overwatch history. Paris.
Most maps to be removed from the game. Paris and Horizon Lunar Colony. And never to be seen again, basically, in ranked. They were just gone, and nothing happened to them.
And then they're not coming back because they're 2CP maps. So maybe
in Overwatch 2 they'll have some. Well, I believe in the first Overwatch 2 when it came, like the first interviews came out, and they would play like, yeah, there's no Overwatch 2, there's no CCP. And I think they're like, we'll bring it back in some capacity, maybe like an arcade mode or something. But
for sure. I'm sure.
Competitive mode is dead.
A quick play classic.
Yes.
Where it's it includes Horizon Lunar Colony, 2CPs. There's going to be specialty 2CP tournaments where it's nothing but 2CP, like Goats tournaments. You don't think so? Okay.
Legacy tournament.
Okay, all right.
Legacy.
I'm the only one that wants to play in that, huh?
No. Okay. But back to the now. We're talking about the future. We're talking about the past. But what about now? Well, now we do see the double shield composition going to be on defense here for Skybox. It's going to be this dive composition with that double sniper here for Atlas Arcadia.
Yeah, I like the double sniper coming out of Atlas Arcadia. I love the Widowmaker getting up there to kind of peek and get an idea. Ash kind of defending that high ground with that coach gun. It's nice.
Now it's going to be on Solo trying to get his way onto the high ground first. Has to use that jetpack to jump on back. And the Dynamite even around corners. You have to be careful, RMM. You're not safe from that. There's quite a bit of burst damage. And of course, that DPS tick over time is nothing to scoff at. And combined with those halts, it's just such a deadly tool.
Yeah, Glay just keeping them pinned around that corner with the combination of rifle shots and then TNT. Keeping them pinned back there. Orisa doing a good job of pulling out that team, making sure they know where they are. But now they know that Dynamite has been wasted, and they're getting ready to come around here and dive onto the high ground.
Oh, a nice rock coach gun combination. That nano that's been built up in that minute is already kind of wasted mostly, but Solo makes it work. Finds some amount of value, but they can't stop the res, and Glay still on their killing spree so far. Solo has to get all the peel in the world, and nothing can stop Glay here. That's 2 whole picks. The Dynamite into a burning room, and everyone is just going so low. The re-engage trying desperately to stop this madman and the reign of terror, but they can't quite do it just yet, and not even the supports will be spared.
Wow, they were dumping so many resources into keeping Solo alive. They couldn't keep themselves alive. Solo dipped down to, I swear, 1 HP at a point there, and then survived. He got the nade, got the healing from the brig, but as soon as they thought we're safe in this room, no, here comes Glade with the TNT. Starts getting that DOT damage over time, and it's all over for that push. Atlas Arcadia kind of struggling here. Hypernut switching over to the Hanzo and Newton over to the Echo to try to get a little bit more, anti-Pharah action going on. But Pharah with the Barrage and Glade with Bob. No, it'll be tough to push into.
Oh, Solo just keeps trying to engage so predictably onto the high ground. Hypernut with a nice shot on the back line does stop Glade for now, but the res will only keep them out of the fight for so long as Turtle goes in the backside, tries to start something disruptive back there and finds it as they take out the Ana. No one here to support the monkey, but don't even need it as they keep on killing and they keep on dying here. If you are Skybox, they're just on the back foot now, despite such a good start to the fight with the denial of the Nano Monkey. But it's just chaos. It's just looking for this Mercy, trying to take out the last remaining bits of healing, as even the Sigma, the bastion of hope for them, is now gone. And Turtle will meander his way into death from this point.
No, don't say Bastion of Hope. You're going to curse this map, and they're going to actually pull out a Bastion. So it looks like Atlas Arcadia ended up making that happen. The Echo switch and the Hanzo switch definitely worked out in their favor. Just the range double sniper wasn't getting through that Sigma shield, the Orisa shield. With the double shield, they're just not going to be able to get the picks that they were looking for. It looks like Glay has switched off the Ash and onto a Tracer, something a little bit faster. Get in that back line. Hopefully going to try to pick off that Ana first, get a support. Meanwhile, leaving Turtle still on the far.
Turtle is going to be looking for as much poke as possible here. The pull is going to aid them in that endeavor. That splash damage so deadly, especially when everyone's clumped up against their whale. The bomb on the backside is going to look for the Baptiste. Doesn't quite find it. Goes right by the mini mega health pack, but it does bait out the lamp. Exactly what they needed for Solo to find the kill. We're hyping it on this off angle, throwing out this dragon laterally across this point, and there's not much that Grim can do to avoid it. Doesn't have the cooldowns necessary. As a nice rock there from Newton in the copied form, and showing that even Newton here, DPS player, can play that Sigma to quite a competent level here, as the first tick already accrued, and it's time for stall time, boys.
Yep. Switch to stall heroes. Come out on that May. Come out on that Wrecking Ball. Come out on that Lucio. Do what you got to do to stall this point. But Atlas Arcadia are not having it. They're like, no, we have the answers here. We know what to do. And it's just too little, too late for Skybox. After an amazing first point hold, they kind of collapsed like a house of cards there. They all had to switch heroes. They all lost their ultimates. Meanwhile, Atlas Arcadia had the opposite. They switched heroes early at the beginning of that first fight, took that first objective point, got 60-70% of their ult charge, and it was able to snowball that into point 2. But like I said, 2CP is always winnable. 2 minutes and 29 seconds isn't an insurmountable time on the time bank for certain. So we can see Skybox make the adjustments they need to make. They can say, okay, this is what worked against us. This is what worked against them. We're going to make our changes, and we're going to come out here. But we'll see Atlas Arcadia have the exact same opportunity to host maybe that same double shield defense. Nope, looks like they're going to a dive.
Yep, it will be a double bubble composition, not something that's commonly seen on defense because it is quite slow. You're waiting for that bubble primarily on both the Winston and the Zarya, which is why it's aptly named double bubble on offense. But same thing still applies in the fact that it's still quite slow. A lot more seen on offense, especially, but it's kind of been okay. I was going to say
there we go.
Swapped out for Diva a lot of the time.
I could see using the bubble to get Winston up onto that high ground, which is something that Atlas Arcadia struggled with. Every single time he jumped onto that high ground, he was met with a coach gun. But that bubble may be what they need to get that Winston onto that high ground and get that cleave damage from the testing.
And Turtle looking for a cheeky little peek there is not going to find it, as Hypernut staying well a ways from that Widowmaker's sights. They're going to be swapping over to the Pharah here to try and break open this point, not seeing a double shield maybe and wanting to, I don't know, you're going to opt into that duel with that Ashe, and that's something that I wouldn't trust myself into Hypernut with personally. He's kind of a freak on that hit scan DPS, and gonna be looking for anywhere to get in here is Grim, waiting for that bubble. Like I said, it's a slow comp. You just gotta wait for the bubble. Just kind of the name of the game as they jump into the backside with that bubble. And what can they find off of it? Glaze doing a great job of poking out that the Winston there, but no bubble, no engage.
Yeah, with Mercy down though, your heals are really slow, and looks like RMM switching over to the Brig. They're going to try to defend against this dive double bubble as best they can. But it might be too late for point A. Maybe they're just going to focus their efforts here on point B. Looks like Skybox getting an early take.
Yeah, Skybox, they kind of just, I mean, as they kind of let their cooldowns go, they kind of just folded over, it felt like, so unceremoniously, just losing life after life in the fight. And like you said, always winnable on 2CP. A 5-minute time bank, a 5-minute 30 time bank has been accrued here for Skybox, and they have that Nano Monkey engage.
Yep, and they can use that Nano Boost to build the Primal, and then use the Primal, and then after that, the Gravitic Flux, or the Graviton.
Yeah, and they're gonna kill that Ana in order to build that Primal. The McCree also the casualty of this dive so far, as the Primal is gonna be going into the spawn, trying to take out this before they can help out their team. As RMM, his value on this Brig is now lost with their life now forfeit, and will they have to swap off of Lucio to stall here? As like I said in that first attack for Atlas Arcadia, it is now stall time. Really, you're in the point where try to throw as many bodies on this point as possible, and RMM can't even accomplish that, as the barrage is going to stop them in their tracks.
Yep, the time is rounded down to an even 2 minutes for Atlas Arcadia, but rounded down the exact same amount to 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Just 1 second off, guys. Come on, get faster next time. But like I said, 2CP always winnable. In certain situations, you're going to sit there and say, oh man, they capped both points. They got time to spare. This is, oh my gosh. But no, 2CP, you change your tactics. You find out what's hurting them and where they're vulnerable, and you switch to it. And that's exactly what they did here. They saw the opportunity to use that double bubble. And like you said, you don't see it a lot, but it's exactly what they needed to get that Winston up onto that high ground and not take any stun, not take any CC, not take any sort of coach gun to the face. Just get up there, get that cleave damage, and they were able to find a nice and easy pick off onto the Mercy. But now they're coming back out with this double shield, Pharmacy, and Ash that seemed to be working out so well for them the last time. They held for 2 minutes last time. Let's see if they can hold for 2 minutes this time.
Yeah, and just like last time, they are going to be just trying to build up that Nano here for Sir Olin and just send Solo in. Last time, Skybox did a great job of neutering the effects of that Nano dive in. So we're going to see if that will continue on this second defense here. As Turtle going to be setting up in that sky, trying to rain down death from above and aid their team and getting maybe the supports from looking at them won't be quite as much.
Yeah, but this time Atlas Arcadia running out on that Hanzo Echo. They know what they're doing. They ditched the double sniper. They said we're not gonna play that game. It's a different game now.
Still, they don't manage to DM that coach gun away, and it's going to be Solo taking the brunt of the punishment for that mistake. He's going to get res back up 500 HP, now put back in the fight, and the bubble going to be invested as well as the dive on the backside, and this is already going much better than the first attack. Now it's going to be Skybox here on the back foot, unable to keep the opponents in check here as the Echo rains free from the sky. I was going to say Turtle was going to rain death, but instead it ends up being Newton with their stickies of destruction.
Yeah. Newton doing a fantastic job on this Echo, getting up in their face, trying to focus that down. I think that Echo is definitely kind of a superior Pharah. Pharah has the advantage in the splash damage, but when it comes down to focusing down a single target, Echo definitely has the advantage here. It looks like Glay has switched over to Cassidy to kind of control that sky a little bit more and maybe add a little bit more CC to Solo's dive. And there it comes.
There it is. The Nano in a lot faster than their first Nano attempt. Is going to go in the backside and look for the Sigma, and that will be the first casualty. Is also going to find Cassidy, take them out as well of this fight. And the fight is just so far in Atlas Arcadia's favor. And what took them quite a while on their first attempt to cap, it's going to take them quite less time, unless this stall has something to say about it.
Yeah, I don't think it will. It looks like it might not be quite enough for Skybox here. Atlas Arcadia just on a tear, got a lot of ultimates, including a duplicate coming online, and there we are.
Yeah, the fight has just completely devolved. It is purely a stall. No hopes of winning in sight. The Echo copy gonna go out onto this ball, looking to make up those mines to prevent the staggers from coming back in. Even better, the remake kill onto the enemy. Diva is just icing on the cake as everyone is just coming in to lose their lives, just trying to get that time bank down to 0, of course, because that means that they will not get time to finish for more than a minute. But they can't even get that goal, just 2.2 seconds shy of it. And this could go the distance here on Anubis.
You know what? I love to see it. I love to see it. I'm living for 2 CP, man. Or 8 CP, as we call it. You know, with Atlas Arcadia says, you know what? You're right. It is always winnable. 4 minutes and 19 seconds. That's not insurmountable. We can do that. We just have to switch to the comp that worked for us the best. And they did exactly that. They started off on that composition, and they knew exactly what Skybox was going to have. They said they're going to have this double shield. They're going to have that far. They're going to have that Ash. We need to get up there, bait out that coach gun, and then keep going in. And that's exactly what they did. They were able to snowball that first point right onto that second. And even though the stall picks were coming in for Skybox, it still just kept going. And you love to see it. You love to see that they finish with time remaining, because this could go to 6-6. I don't know. I'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, could be quite a long one here. As we are gonna see the Torbjorn gonna be coming out on defense here, trying to maybe support their defense a little bit better, as they kind of folded a little quickly on that first time.
Yeah. Newton putting out that Torbjorn. I like to see it. You're going to put out that turret, that 7th man on the field. And it looks like Skybox are going to try and attack without any sort of Pharah or oh, no, maybe Turtle's going to go back and switch. I was thinking without any flying heroes, that Torbjorn turret's going to not be effective. But Turtle is going to switch to that.
There it is, going to be a Turtle going to that comfort pick, I would say. I've seen quite a bunch of it on this map. Going to be spamming down the rockets as the engage does come in from Grim, and oof, instantly taken out. That HP pool does not last long, and Stella is kind of left here wondering, oh, I mean, what can I really do with these cooldowns now when there isn't a monkey to bubble in? Is going to pay the price for it, has to pop that personal bubble just to stay alive. I believe the res was successful, and the monkey is back into this fight. As right now it's going to be the Orisa trying to just peel the rest of their team right now, as Clay will be losing their life again. The monkey jumping in, not bursted down instantly this time, and exactly what you're looking for if you are Grim. That's not what you like to hear. I'm not instantly dead in the fight, because the Torbjorn is just trying to survive in this corner like a little goblin he is and get as much damage as possible. The grab already accrued. The first ultimate available is not typically the Graviton.
Yeah, wow, that was pretty insane. They're coming out here on the double bubble. You know, Grim losing his life right away the first time. You know, I thought that might spell some ultimate doom here, but it did not. Stellar comes in with the grab. Newton now at only 55% to an ultimate on that Torbjorn. Do you stick with it, or are you switching to something else? Looks like they're trying to stick with it, but I don't know if that's the move. Solo here with a Supercharger and a Diva Bomb are pretty much the only offensive ultimates you're going to have online for Atlas Arcadia.
Yeah, and it's just going to be that nano onto Grim in the backside of the fight. Sorlin doing a great job to peel himself along with that Brig Rally armor as Turtle goes in and instantly dies. But ooh, Clay with the response in the pulse bomb does take out 2. Maybe looking for the rest to keep this fight in their favor as Grim trying to do as much work as possible. Feller is alive, ready to bubble the Grim whenever they can, but they can't quite just yet as the Torbjorn Molten Core comes out onto the point, and there's nothing they can do to try and push further. The fight is already set. What looked bad, promising, and now bad again, ends up with just disappointment.
Yes, that Torbjorn Molten Core could not have come a moment too soon. Definitely building that up and using it there as a zoning ultimate to get them off that point was, you know, the icing on the cake, the nail in the coffin, the last straw. But now Newton does no longer need for Torbjorn and has gone over to Tracer. Not only is it a better pick overall for this composition, but it's also a better pick for Stall to get back and respawn quickly and get back to the objective to Stall. So I like that pick now as opposed to later. But Solo up here on the Wrecking Ball doing some scouting, trying to find out exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah, and it's going to be on that bomb, the only ultimate in play here to be the difference maker in this fight. It's going to be Turtle looking for something, anything on this Hanzo with the off angle. The D.Va not looking at him. It's his prime time to get some damage done, and that they find with Nguyen going to be the first casualty of that off angle, but Turtle will soon need to follow. We denied any further damage in this fight. I don't believe they can even get into Reset. It's just in such a bad position, and the D.Va as well continuing out delay, and that's their DPS gone. Your pushing power gone. Stella is gonna try their best to supplement that lost DPS, but it's not enough in the slightest, and it's full reset time.
Yeah, I think Skybox here, they're just trying to build up some ultimates. They know they've got a Nano online now. Grim just got the Primal Rage. All they need now is a Dragon Strike from Hanzo and a D.Va Bomb to go with that. They can build up that Tracer Pulse Bomb in the next fight, and they'll have all 6 and summon Zodia the Forbidden One. Meanwhile, the same can be said for Atlas Arcadia. They've already got a bunch of ultimates on board, and they are just waiting for this push. This is probably the last fight before we start seeing some stalls here, and if they can get one pick to start this fight, it would be ideal.
Yeah, it's gonna be Glay going extremely low right there in front of that window as Grim is gonna try to pop that Primal Rage, try to secure some control over this point, something they've lacked the entire time with the movement of the bomb. Leaves Worm out to dry, dead to the bomb, and the Dragon to follow up does take out Stella, who lost that mech, and now typing out on this off angle, trying to find these last couple picks, secure the fight and the map for them, and Grim has something to say about it, but no ultimate to speak of, and the healer's not available to heal them back up. That's gonna be the map, and it will, unless the stall can come in, this will be a miracle situation if they manage to win this.
Oh, it's just the lone Mercy out there in Valkyrie trying to get that res off. Manages to make it happen, but probably at the cost of her own life. Stall is just insane here. The immortality field and the amount of healing coming out of this Baptiste over in the corner is just keeping all of Atlas Arcadia alive. And here we go, Atlas Arcadia. Take the second map.
Yeah, and that's gonna be 2-0 here for Atlas Arcadia to start out the second round of playoffs. A very good position to be in, but they have to clutch this one up. They have just one more map to secure before they can say that they have moved on. And I mean, it's likely, I'm gonna say, because of the dominant fashion, semi-dominant fashion in which they kind of played these compositions, but only time will tell.
Yeah. These matches are looking fantastic. You know, I believe in Skybox. I think they can make this. They can make this happen. They can come back. They've been close every single time. They had a 4-minute and 19-second time bank there on Anubis, but they squandered it a little bit. They couldn't quite figure out what to do to counter Atlas Arcadia there on that second attack. But we are going to be updating the scores of other games as they become available. So those games are starting to get played right now. The only one with any score that I can tell right now is Chrysalis is up 1-0 over Firefight right now in the Harmony tier. All the other matches are still being played. So let's go ahead and cut to the halftime break. But after this match is over, especially if it's a 3-0 real quick, we're gonna come into one of those matches in progress and bring you some more Tranquility action, because I just can't get enough. If I can't get a map 8 tonight, I gotta make a map 8 by stringing some map 3s together.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Transcendence match here, as it is going to be Atlas Arcadia 2-0 up against Skybox, and it's do or die here for Skybox. They have to take this next map, or it's capiche for them. So, I mean, they had a great run in the latter half of the season, coming back from that bad start, and that is something to be congratulated on. But I think with that, they kind of feel like they could have gone maybe a little bit further than this if they do go down here. So obviously wanting to kind of push back, and even if it's just a 1-seed upset, still upset Atlas Arcadia here. I don't think anyone, if you had said after stage 1 that yeah, it's going to be Skybox Atlas Arcadia at 6 and 7, and they're going to fight to see who keeps on, I don't know if people would have expected that.
Right. I mean, I'm ready for this match. I'm ready for the reverse sweep. I got not one, but 2 big bags of Ricola throat lozenges here, okay? I'm ready to go all the way. We're going the distance, map 5, map 6, whatever it takes. I'm ready, Skybox. Let's see it. It looks like we are going to King's Row, everybody's favorite hybrid map. I know it's my favorite hybrid map. Just I can't get enough of it. So we are going to see a lot of that varying composition again for, capturing that objective, and then moving to streets phase, and then the inside phase there on point 3. So I'm excited to see the variant and the switching that's going to come out of these teams, especially coming out of Skybox. We see Gimmick in now. We see Stellar and Grim, Glay, Tokyo, and Worm. So on Atlas Arcadia side, we got Solo, Astrazerg, Hypernut, Newton, what was it?
Sir Olin. Sir
Olin, yes, and RMM.
Yeah, I remember the best part about Sir Olin was doing the Ana paintball match thing. Not this season, but last season. And it was me and Jack, and we did not know how to say that name, and we were corrected many a times, and still did not know how to say that name.
Well, now I screwed it up, so you can just add my name to the list.
Yeah. But it was quite funny back then. Did quite well in that, actually. A standout on Flex support, I would say, in this. I believe he was. I want to say he was Discord tier back then, but he could have been Transcendence tier. But I feel like he was Discord tier back then. I think he moved up.
Definitely standing out tonight on the Baptiste. So it looks like they're coming out here with a dive. Looks like I don't know, man. Looks like they're gonna try to come out here with some sort of weird dive composition.
Yeah, probably won't last too long. You see Solo onto the Reinhardt.
There we go. Switching to Reinhardt. That makes more sense.
And we saw this matchup on that mecha base, right? And we saw that go the way of Atlas Arcadia. I'm wondering, obviously, it's a little bit different on this map, but if that stays the same in terms of who comes out on top.
Yeah, okay. Newton switching over to the Mei, trying to get that counter Mei wall. Knows that they have a Mei in turn, and he's going to try to get the advantage with these aggressive Mei walls, kind of cut off that LOS.
Yeah, and now it's time here. The front line is advancing. The shield flickering on and off, trying to save as much as possible for this push here. Once that wall goes up, the charge is led, of course, by Solo, the Valiant Reinhardt, into the front line, and Grim will be the one to die. The opposing Reinhardt finally falling before Solo's team as they push forward into the backside of this point. Already capped that first tick, and even if Solo gives his life, he's done enough here, buying enough space for his team. Just clean on up and secure the first point here in a very quick fashion.
Yes, that was excellent timing and excellent pacing from Atlas Arcadia. Coming in there, just nice and slow rotation around the statue. They knew exactly what to do, pushing it around, and then just kind of holding their ground there, getting that one wall, that aggressive wall at the very beginning, kind of separate Grim from the rest of the team, was all that they needed to get that damage, put that pressure in, and push in and take them. Now they've got ultimates to use, and Gimmick is just rolling on through.
Yeah, and what a valuable fight that is, only having to expend a single dragon, a single ult, an ult that can be built up quite quickly to secure that and retake this choke of death. It's so hard to get on through this choke on this map. It can be a stopping point for many teams.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult to get through that choke. However, Skybox here are at a disadvantage because their spawn is just so far away. Once they lose 2 to 3 players, that might spell the end of it. And here comes the dragon of their very own.
having to commit so many resources to try and disengage from that dragon. And the May Blizzard is going to be secured into this fight. Once that D.Va is frozen up, the Lucio evades it, however, here for RMM. And he pushes on through with the beat. Worm was not able to give that aid to his team, so they will end up losing that fight down those important shields. And now it's full retreat mode, trying to get one last fight on this point.
Yeah, the advantage of holding early is that you get that early fight, and if you lose there right in front of the pub, right in front of the bookstore, you can actually recontest here right before they capture the objective, which is actually going to give you a much more even spawn distance, so you're not going to have to sit there and race against the spawn.
Now, once again, it feels oddly that RMM getting caught out by just a solo dragon, no aid even given to it, really. And especially with that Lucio able to just glide on walls, there shouldn't have been much to stop him, but still, Gimmick predicting that and managing to catch them out, and now just a absolutely brutal stagger as they even get booped up in the air. It would have been funny if that D.Va took a drink with them, but that's a lot of time lost.
Yeah, that was a brutal stagger. Definitely smart by Astro to go ahead and just run on back there, and kind of throw yourself off the map. But it looks like Atlas Arcadia are kind of starting to come back here. They've got ultimates online. They've got a D.Va bomb. They're committing it right off the bat.
No one does end up going down to that. Grim is going to look to maybe save himself with that shatter, but the May freeze is going to certainly try to deny that for now. The bomb to the backside, they're looking for the pin, but they hit the wall instead. They found the wrong target, and now it's going to be a swing fest here. Grim looking for any opportunity here to put that shatter on the ground to crumble the enemy team on the earth. They're going to be throwing it down and put
there it goes.
Put on the ground. And was going to follow up, try to go through. Grim is not able to help his team, but he tried to do what he could, and even that is just not enough. Even aided by that window, he just ends up going down and losing his life as well as the rest of his team, and that second point is gone.
Yeah, the follow-up from that shatter was just not there. It was a fantastic work there trying to, outthink the enemy Reinhardt from solo, play in that corner, play in that poke. Am I going to jump shatter around this corner? What are you going to do? Put your shield up, put your shield down. Doing a fantastic job of baiting that and shattering right underneath the payload. But looks like we're coming back here. Gimmick, the Dragon Strike. Finding value.
Oh, a nice shatter, catching, sleeping a little bit, but the May Blizzard is there to aid the Reinhardt. They may have gotten shattered, but it was gonna be Glay there with the save. Quick reaction time keeps them alive and keeps that
immortality field really kept them alive for that long enough for that May Blizzard to take effect. They come in. Even gets the environmental kill. You love to see that, especially here on King's Row, where there's only a small opportunity for that environmental kill, and you make it happen.
Yes, and right now it's going to be Glay looking for that wall. Solo just going to push in, doesn't even care about that wall at all, and Solo going to get frozen up in the backside, but the rest of the fight has already been decided here as the picks have come in, and Stella even have to throw themselves off the map. Just a little bit of a nuisance of Glay in the back line.
Yeah, definitely resetting. Just throw yourself off the side of the map, reset, do what you got to do. But we're coming back in here. Newton's got this Blizzard, gonna throw it out there into the center of the point, kind of zone everybody off the cart. But we do have 5 ultimates online now for the Skybox.
Yeah, and Hypernut gonna already find a little bit of casualty there. It's gonna have to be the Lucio running back out now. RMM is gonna have that beat to match Worm, and Gimmick gonna try to find one of his trademarks, just find a random kill through a Dragon Strike through the wall. But what causes it is, as we go take a look at that first point, it's a beautiful first point if you think about it. As the shatter comes out, it is quite huge, and the Blizzard to follow up. Newton doing the job of keeping the team, but can they run away from this bomb? Nope, gonna have to invest that lamp, can't run away from it, just gonna have to tank it. That mystical field allows even man as squishy as Baptiste to just take a nuclear explosion. As Grim gonna throw out a shatter, but even in the ending phase screen, the wall still blocks it. Sad.
Plenty of time there. Atlas Arcadia making pretty good time. 1 minute and 23 seconds on the time bank. by far not the fastest run they could have made. Looks like Skybox managed to hold them there a couple of times. Skybox just needed to make some changes that they didn't make. It feels like they were playing a different composition than we've seen them on before, and it wasn't necessarily working. Whereas Atlas Arcadia was running almost the exact same composition, but running it much more effectively. They were coming in with those zoning Hanzo Dragon Strikes right at the beginning of fights to kind of seal off the enemy team from running away, and they did a fantastic job of kind of corralling the enemies, the opponents, into a spot where they wanted to take that fight, timing the fights so that we take them on our terms, on our turf.
Yep, and it's gonna be on them to defend now after quite the nice attack there, and it's gonna be interesting to see if this Reaper that it looks like we're gonna be seeing makes any sort of a difference. A lot less range than that Hanzo, obviously, but can have that that upfront punching power.
Yeah, definitely gonna come in on. The Reaper is going to be a little bit more effective here on attack. They can at least teleport into the back line, maybe get off a support. But, you know, oh, they're going through the hotel. That's an interesting charge. Moving around the backside to the defender's side, get that advantage.
And Grim already gone. The shield just not going to be able in this fight, not available in this fight in the slightest. And it just leaves the rest of the team just being completely subject to the enemy team's will, and just every form of fire is going onto their back line. Not even Tokyo is allowed to run away, and it's just a reset.
Yeah, definitely a fast engagement. Beautiful work here from Solo, getting that Earth Shatter already. Look at how long that is. Holding up that shield right here in front of this to kind of peek around the corner. You can tell it's going to be cheeky. You love to see it. I want to see this huge shatter right here coming out of Solo. They don't expect it. They don't even know.
Ooh, it somehow catches two in the backside, even though the shield just a bit above the ground. Of course, the enemy Reinhardt of Grim was jumping, so he's going to have to protect the rest of his team in the fight. It's just a easy, quick cleanup from there. Yep.
That's the advantage of that early shatter. They're not expecting it. They're like, our Reinhardt's only at 50%, which means his Reinhardt's only at 50%. Gimmick now switching over to the Hanzo. Apparently the Reaper wasn't strong enough. We're going to stick with basically a mirror match here of compositions. This is the King's Row special. Get that Hanzo, spam down that shield.
And so, well, it's a bit of a light show. It's a little too early for Christmas, but we're going to get a little bit of a preview right now as Gimmick will be the first one to find blood, but will quickly be traded out by Solo. Solo here is like, you cannot take out my friends without repercussions. Grim going to have to throw his shield in the backside just to block the bomb, but in doing so, the Shatter is going to come out and take out Glay, and the rest of the team will fall with it. They do take out Hypernut, though, on the backside of that fight.
Yeah, so... That was a lot of ultimates there coming out of Atlas Arcadia. Now it's turn. It's our turn now. That's what's coming out of here of I blanked on the other team's name. Skybox. Skybox. They're saying it's our turn now. They're gonna come back. They've got ultimate suspend. They've got a blizzard. They've got an earth shatter. They're gonna get separated by the dragons.
Ooh, nice freeze plus shatter combo does leave two on the ground. The beat is gonna have to be invested, but I don't even know if that'll be enough to save Solo, as the dragon will even be sent in to try and secure the last fight. I think everyone is just like, press Q, guys, we gotta win this fight. Only a minute remaining, and they decide now is the time. Even if we have to press 6 ults, they only press 4, but oh, actually no, they do press 6.
Yep, they just used them all. That just makes sense. Use it right now. This is your time. You have 1 minute left. If you don't use it in this fight, you're not going to be able to use it in the next one. It's just going to be a stagger fest. So Skybox, once again, they build up their ultimates. They come in. They've got 3 minutes and 27 seconds to capture point B. I think it's doable. It's definitely doable, but they have to get a couple of early picks here so that they can get that cart rolling, get that momentum started. Otherwise, they're going to get stuck at this choke and have to wait until they build up the next round of ultimates.
But luckily enough, as clean as Atlas Arcadia died, they managed to get back into this choke! And the classic combo! You don't normally see it into a Diva comp because that DM is available, but Seller is slacking for just a moment, and Solo exploits it for their backline! And as the fight's secured here, the choke is going to be maintained, except for the fact that there's no Reinhardt to maintain it.
Yeah, I mean, Solo gladly give your life for that play. The double fire strike kill through a window, that's pretty decent. You've got a charge that can get you back to the objective fairly quickly. They're going to hold here right around the pub, and they're not going to get that cart very far before he's right back here with an Earth Shatter ready to defend.
It's gonna be Stellar sent on the anti-Hanzo duty and will perform their job admirably as they do take them out. The Shadow, though, is gonna come out from Solo the wall, an excellent wall, and the lamp is gonna be used to try and secure them in this fight. Grim, it's guys, get him, get the Reinhardt, swing the Reinhardt, shoot the Reinhardt, everyone! Kill the Reinhardt, his gimmick, and throw that Hanzo all through the floor, or through the wall, and it's going to prevent Solo from walking back to his team and back to safety. He's going to lose his life as well. And the fight is devolving into Skybox's favor. Not something I would have considered considering the start of it all, but it's going to be good for them.
Yes, the Hanzo coming out of the gimmick, playing the Hanzo, and those plays there, splitting the team with the Dragons, making sure they can't back up, and then pushing into them. It's exactly what was done to them the first time, and they recognize it, and they said, okay, we can do this too. Glay now has a Blizzard, going to throw it here, I think, early, just to kind of get them zoned a little bit. But,
Yep.
And here it comes.
Alts are in full force. A little bit of an execution there from Glay onto that baby Diva, and they're looking to end this out strong, looking to push into third and potentially cap with even more time than Atlas Arcadia, which would be a statement if that same exact occurrence hadn't happened on Temple of Anubis and still lost that map.
Yeah. Well, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds, they stand to capture the objective here at about the same time back, maybe a little bit more. With more than a minute remaining on the other side, you absolutely have to have some time. Otherwise, you turn this map into a draw. And as much as I love to see it, I don't think Skybox want that. I think Skybox want a definite win.
Yeah, man. One step to a definite win is not losing this fight. As they do go down, more time will be leaking off of this clock. 2 minutes now and counting. You have a lot of ultimates here, but for both sides. That's typically favors the defense unless the fight can be clean enough.
Yes, unless you can use those ultimates to get 1 or 2 picks really early, but having 5 ultimates on each side, almost 6 now for Skybox. They got to come in here feeling good about themselves. They're looking to use 1 ultimate each.
Yep, and the ults are already starting to go flying. The particle effects invading my screen. That's going to be Hypernut taking out the Hanzo duel. The beat is going to have to be used before RMM can even consider it. It's right now pushing forward through the window with the aid of that shield and that beat. I'm not sure what Newton thought they were, but they didn't think they were in front of a bomb right there, and that could be a catastrophe as the fight descends from there. Stellar firing the Remax onto Soro Lin, also takes out any form of sustain they have, and that's kind of a fumble.
Yeah, that was definitely Atlas Arcadia's map to win, their fight to win. Now, they do get to come in here and recontest. I think they are going to make it on time, despite the wall coming out of play. We are going to drop a Blizzard, maybe this fight. I don't know. They absolutely have to do something to clean up Atlas Arcadia if they want to capture this with any time at all on the card.
Blizzard is already out cleaning up this fight. It kind of is a little bit of a despair moment when you had a fight that was so winnable, slip through your grasp as Gimmick finds the final headshot to end the round. They got less time, but that was certainly not what you wanted after how that previous fight started.
Yeah, now they only have 1 minute on the clock, and they have to attack again. This attack they're making has to work. Basically, first fight. You get 2 fights. Your first one has to be fast. It has to work or not work. You have to fail right away. No staggers, no building ultimates. You either do it or you get out. And that'll give you a second fight. Hopefully they can make it happen, because I want to see more Overwatch here. The opponents, Atlas Arcadia, only have 1 minute and 52 seconds. So only a little bit more time, 50 more seconds, not even a minute longer. And I think Skybox, this is doable, but they're going to have to figure out their pacing, and they're going to have to outthink Atlas Arcadia. And Atlas Arcadia coming out now without the Hanzo, but Hypernut has gone on to the Cassidy, which is going to give them a little bit more of that flashbang, that stun, and hopefully, and a little bit more range. So hopefully Hypernut is ready to answer that call because Gimmick is back on that Hanzo, and the zoning dragons cannot be underestimated.
Yep, and it's gonna be the same compositions coming out, except that Cassidy is gonna be subbing in for that Hanzo here for Hypernut, as gonna be looking for maybe some CC onto that front line. Flashbang gonna help with that a lot, obviously, as the wall is gonna be the first ability used in the fight. Counter wall engage with Solo already frozen up, lamps engage. These mirrored cooldowns are just kind of funny to see. The team's thinking the exact same way, as Hyper is going to be the first casualty, as Glay acting as that sniper on that Mei to assist Gimmick. There's not just one sniper you're facing, it's two, as Glay gonna wall off the enemy Ryan as well, and they're just gonna be Lance the Slaughter running their way to this point, trying to stall as much time as possible, but it's time here to go second phase in this overtime.
Yep, definitely moving to the streets now. And this is exactly what Skybox needed. They made the changes that they needed to make. In fact, they didn't make changes with their composition, but they made changes with their play style. They pushed around nice and slow, baited out the lamp, walled off the Reinhardt, knew which fights they could engage on and which fights they couldn't. Once they realized they traded lamps, they backed out, they waited for those cooldowns, and then they pushed back around again. Now they just have to stay on this card, but capturing that first objective, it's sometimes all you can do.
Yep, and it's going to be those amplification matrix coming out again, giving us a light show, and it's going to be Gimmick to find the first kill, helping Skybox push even further into this overtime potentially. The bomb is available for Stellar, and the lamps are just being committed to the backside, but Solo does it again! The blizzard, though, is massive. Everyone is caught up. Not even Solo can live through it. Even with that Beta hips help them out, and Stellar fighting everyone on the enemy team, stunned up and unable to fight back. The bomb cleans them up, and a successful overtime push becomes even more successful.
Oh, wow. Through all of that, the sound barrier and the amplification matrices and Solo's huge shatter that finds everybody, they manage to live. Sir Olin drops that immortality field, and everybody manages to live there on the side of Skybox. Skybox now about to capture that second objective.
Obviously, that cap doesn't matter that much. It doesn't give extra time, but Grim is going to give his team extra time on this map as a 5-man or maybe even a 6-man puts everyone on the ground and into spawn a team kill. And with overtime spawns, look how slowly they're respawning. It'll be a while before they can even touch this point.
Yeah, with only 1 minute, they have accomplished so much already. But now they're going for it all. They're going for that third point. They said, you want it from us, you gotta come and take it. Gimmick now with a zoning dragon, gonna zone out that team.
Going forward with the high noon Gimmick. I don't know that situation you want to be jumping off that map, even if it's for that dragon, even if you trade out that Cassidy, you still want to be in this fight getting as much value as possible, and with no shield to keep the team safe from this enemy shatter, it'll put them all on their backs, back into spawn and into the next round. But still, that's a very successful 1 minute overtime push.
Yeah, you know, Gimmick, if that had worked, that would have been an epic play of the game. Okay, I'm just saying you would have fallen down the hole to your death and shot an arrow back up through the opposing team. I could see that happening and being an awesome clip for a highlight reel, but unfortunately, it just didn't work. I feel like maybe Skybox knew, hey, we've done it. This is it. If we don't do it now, we're just not gonna win. So I feel like with a minute and 52, now it's definitely winnable, right? We're back to that 2CP territory where Skybox is like, all right, guys, this is winnable. Just stick with the comp we were running, stick with that pacing, communicate, know what each other's going to do, and get that timing. Atlas Arcadia now making some adjustments. They know, okay, this is what they're going to do. This is what was successful for them. We have to counter that. And I'm just going to go bananas if Hypernut stays on that Symmetra the entire time, because those teleporters can be huge. They can help your team get back from spawn faster in situations where the cart is kind of midway. You can get back even faster and get there to attack and push that all the way you need to do it. So Hypernut might be on this Symmetra. Doesn't look like they're going to do the Sim Bastion strat, which would just absolutely blow my mind. But I'm interested to see what they're going to do. They're going to take like a wraparound high ground. There's a whole lot of flank routes open to them now.
And it's going to be just a TP onto the point here. We'll see how this gets punished, if at all. The wall is a little bit too late to deny any amount of space to be created. The Lucio goes low, has to back up and help his team, or maybe he wants to be a little bit more fraggy on that front line, and he does try to get back fraggy on that front line, but without proper resources, he just goes down and leads to his team bad down in this fight as well. RMM gets into that thing and says, you were trying to frag, but a little bit too fast, my friend. A little bit slower, maybe third in the fight. You'll have a lot more success. As the first cap is going to come in, we might see a repeat of Atlas Arcadia, of Skybox's attack, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Skybox, they did a good job of controlling the pacing of that previous fight, their previous attack. They were able to control the pacing, just move in slow, take our advantage, and Atlas Arcadia said, okay, I know what they're going to do. We're going to play fast. We're going to go in, and we're just going to blitz them. We're going to all take the TP onto that point. We're going to turn right around, and we're going to let them have it. And it just discombobulated Skybox. They said, oh, we don't know what to do now. Time bank is almost irrelevant at this point, because at 40 seconds left, if you die on the cart, it's going to take you at least that long to respawn and get back on the cart. So you need to treat this as if it's overtime right now, because any death right now is going to put your team at a disadvantage.
And this Blizzard is going to look to be the disruptor. And it's going to be Astrozerg looking to deny the disruption. It's going to be Solo on the backside, but you can't deny disruption when you're frozen in the fight. And it's going to be the kills coming in the side for Skybox. Maybe trying to force their way back into this series. The beat is going to be thrown in this fight, even though they're down so many, trying to secure anything, trying to keep this Metro alive. And in the fight, Astrozerg going to be throwing the bomb, going to deny, going to get the D.Va out of that mech in the bomb, going to just D-mech Astro just as much. Solo is back from that spawn that's so close, but they're still just coming in to die. And this Metro TP is going to be put on the backside of the fight. He finds it, Hypernut going crazy on the backside of the fight, and maybe might push them further into the round, and that it will, as RMM gets in there as well. In a rule reset, trying to salvage what they can.
Oh, that was so close to winnable for Skybox. But you know what? Atlas Arcadia, they said, no, we got that TP. We're coming back in. We're coming in fast. And that's exactly what they did. They managed to make it happen. And then they got back to the point. They got back there. They stalled the objective just long enough. But that sound barrier was all they needed for just the two people remaining on the objective to stall. And Astrozerg dropping that bomb didn't really get any value, but it did zone just a little bit.
Oh, Newton saw that the D.Va was not looking their direction and trying to freeze up the opposition here while the D.Va's caught slacking, and that they will. It'll lead to the fight, and this is a repeat again of Skybox. But they're gonna have to face into Glaze Blizzard here. It's gonna have to be the one to stop them. That or a massive shatter.
Yeah, Glaze got that Blizzard online. Grim's got the Shatter, and we also have a big wall, a Symmetra wall coming out of Hypernut here. Solo's gonna have a Shatter of his own. This is gonna be the ultimate fiesta right here. We gotta see everything. Both these teams gotta put everything on the line and use their ults as soon as they come online if they're gonna win this fight.
An Astro here is going to look for some damage on the front line. Wait, they just TP Shatter. A combo I haven't seen for such a long time, especially not one that worked. Grim throws it out in desperation, and it's going to be the May here from play, trying to stop them. The Diva's out of the mech. Can you fight it here? But you don't even throw the Blizzard out. You need to do something. This is the last fight of the map. You could lose this fight if you don't press the Q button. That's exactly what happens. The fight is in shambles for Skybox, and it looks so winnable. Such an amazing overtime push is replicated to perfection by Atlas Arcadia, and Skybox will be eliminated from the playoffs as Atlas Arcadia moves along as that 6th seed.
Oh man, what a finish all the way to the end. It was great. It was great from start to finish. We're going to see this play of the game from Grim here. Just fantastic Reinhardt work on both sides, but just the big shadow. You knew the lamp was out already. We can take care of this lamp. You know, that's the gameplay coming out of both of these teams was just amazing. The way that they thought about the play that they just saw and then how to counter that. They said, okay, Skybox is playing a pacing game. They're going to play slow. They're going to bait out our cooldowns. They're going to wait for their time to strike. And then Atlas Arcadia responds with this lightning fast Symmetra play. We're going to TP right into them. We're going to go right on top of them. And then we're just going to smush them. And it worked. It worked every single time. The TP Shatter, everything. It was just so fast compared to the previous pushes. And, you know, that was a fantastic showing from both teams. But you know what? I'm not going to put my cough drops down just yet, because I think we're going to try to find ourselves another match. This was a great effort from Skybox and Atlas Arcadia. Skybox, you guys did fantastic this season, coming back from a pretty miserable stage 1. But I hope to see you again next season. We've loved having you with us. Atlas Arcadia, congratulations on your win. You guys definitely rocked that 6-man roster and gave it everything you've got. Played a really, really great game. For me, if I'm gonna look for a player of the match, oh man, it's so tough. I'm gonna have to say Solo. Man, some of the shatters, some of the timing and the pacing on the shields and the charges, just so much more patient than me. Right? When I play Reinhardt, I just press shift on cooldown. I just have it held down all the time. But Solo, just a fantastic job of controlling the direction of that team and moving that team along. What do you think, Worst?
Yeah, for me it was between Hypernut or Solo there, and me Grug, me like Reinhardt, me like Shatters. So I'm gonna go with Solo here. It's kind of the main tank's job in a lot of ways to control pacings of fights. That and the main support is kind of a joint duty, and I think they did a very good job of really elevating the team in a lot of fights. So I'm gonna go for Solo. I think without that kind of a presence on the battlefield for their team, would have been a very different story.
Yeah, different story indeed. So we are going to try to find another match to play right now. But before we go to that scene here, and before we go to Wade, I want to tell everybody a little bit about what's going on in Tranquility at this moment. Flashbacks are up 2-0 over Palm Beach Poggers. So that's an interesting development. I expected that match to be a lot closer, but this is Tranquility, home of the close 4-0. Firefight and Chrysalis are 1-1 right now. So definitely Firefight fighting back. Loki is down. Oh, Koala Kings have taken the 3-0 over Loki. So Loki has lost. Koala Kings is moving on. Jersey Boys are down 2-0 under the Vanguard Spartans, up 2-0 over Jersey Boys. Looks like Sky Guardians are up 2-0 over Boop right now at the half. Jetpack Cats 2-0 over Turbo Throwers, which is unfortunate because Turbo Throwers is a pretty fantastic team. I got to cast them last week. Reminiscence looks like they got their win over Mechanized 3-0. Paradise Lost is 2-0 over SEAL Team Spuds. Quokka Queens 2-0 over Excalibur, just on match point. I believe Quokka Queens can take that. Inferno Foxes are now 2-0 over Poseidon. Fenrir and Mark III are 1-1. That sounds like a really close game. Valkyrie is losing to Lotus. Lotus has 2-0 over Valkyrie. And then we have Jalapenos and Redacted are 1-1. So there's a lot of good matches going on right now. A couple have already finished up in Discord tier, including this one. Transcendence tier, or this is Transcendence tier. Alpha and Corvidity are playing Friday, as well as Manifest and Amnesia. So there's only a couple of games going on right now. Bird Society Ibis up 2-0 over Dirt. Oh man, I can't believe it. Bird Society is a fantastic org. Lots of support going on there, but I like Dirt. Devil Dukes are 1-0 over GDH. Could this be the end of GDH? Is this it? Is this going downhill?
No.
We don't know.
They're still losers bracket, Copium. They're still losers bracket if they lose.
They're still losers.
But they don't
bracket.
lose these. They only get one.
Okay, they only get one map. They let them have a map. Decapitators represent Decapitators 3-0 over Shockwave. All right, Decaps, let's go. And it looks like Battalion are up 2-0 over SS Cuttlefish. That's unfortunate. And the winner of that game plays the loser of that game plays the winner of this game. So looks like SS Cuttlefish has a date with Atlas Arcadia. So that's going to be interesting. Manifest, of course, playing Friday. Whirlwind Wildcats and NYAA still no score. So maybe that game hasn't started yet. I think they agreed on a later start time. So we're trying to get into a game here. It looks like we are going to join the Chrysalis and Firefight match, which is already at 1-1. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Went back to
Yeah.
It feels like we were just there, you know?
Yeah. We won.
Yeah. You know what? I'm excited about Kings Row. What about you, Worst? You want to get right into this?
Yeah, we can get right in those. And something funny, as you mentioned, you like, I like Dirt. Well, Dirt just fought back with a map there. It is 2-1 now. Dirt is still down, but they're fighting back. So
all
we might
right, all
still be
right.
able
Let's
to
go,
like
Dirt.
Still might be able to
No
like
bias.
Dirt after this.
I like Dirt.
But
Okay.
they just finished with no Kings Row. We're not going to see Kings Row, actually.
Oh.
We're not going
Oh.
to turn to Kings Row because,
So it's 2-1 Chrysalis.
yes, 2-1 Chrysalis. Here, it's Firefight Chrysalis. And Chrysalis just found a win here on Kings Row. That gives a little
Okay.
thing. Maybe they're like Rush, you know? Maybe they're a little bit of a Rush team themselves. So it is going to be Firefight's pick onto Escort. And we're going to see where they want to go. Like, what kind of Escort maps do you think that Firefight would want?
If I was Firefight, I'd probably pick something like Route 66. I feel like that's gonna be a pretty decent map. I also have a soft spot for Dorado, but I think Route 66 is gonna favor Firefight's strategy a little bit better. Let me go ahead and get one of these cough drops out and put it in right now because I feel like we're gonna need it.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to Gibraltar, which is unconventional, I will say. I don't know if it's just my bias in terms of when I was competing, what I saw. I almost never played Gibraltar when I competed. I don't know if it just wasn't in map pools, and I competed for a long time.
Yeah, that's a bold
like
strategy, Cotton.
A
Let's see if
span
it
of
pays off.
4 years. I barely played any Gibraltar in official matches. I don't know if it was just map pools didn't favor it, or like if you lose, you never want to go to Gibraltar because it's just like a very icky map at times. It can feel like.
Yeah. Even in the Overwatch League, it's not a terribly popular
I
map.
don't-
You end up seeing a lot of like 1-0 scores because that first checkpoint is just so weird. So but you know what, Firefight, maybe they think they got this. Maybe they've been practicing and they think we've been practicing this map and you haven't. So, see ya.
Definitely something that could do that, but you know what it does tell us? More than likely, dive or double shield. Rush, basically non-existent on this map since Goats. I mean, when the fact that the funny thing is, people were kind of gauging how strong Goats was after the big nerf when it came to Overwatch League. When teams were still running Goats on Horizon, people were like, "Okay, guys, this is too much. You can't be running this kind of compositions on Horizon, such a map that is so dive centric." People kind of like,
one of my
this has gone too
favorite
far.
We're in Harmony tier, so we might actually get to see it. One of my favorite things is where everybody hides in the health pack room under the car wash, and you can kind of contest the cart from in there. So you just kind of build that double shield May wall, and you just cycle your shields and just stay in that area. And they have to come to you. You own a health pack, and it's the only health pack for miles. And you just own that room, and you just keep contesting that cart from right there. And you can stall out indefinitely. And every time they come to you, they're coming to you. They got to get underneath. They got to go under that car wash. It's a strategy. It's a strategy. I'm not going to say it's a good one. I'm just going to say it's a strategy. I've seen it, and I've seen it work. So maybe we'll see that. Maybe we'll see that coming out of Firefighter Chrysalis here.
Yeah, maybe that will be. And if you're unfamiliar with how Tranquility works, I did see someone in the chat earlier talking about what does Transcendence tier mean? It's our tiers of play. Harmony tier is our lowest tier of play, 2,000 to 3,000 SR. And then it goes to Discord tier, which is 3,100 to like 3,500.
I think it's 3,600, 3,650. It's essentially gold and plat, and then there's like a diamond and low masters, and then there's masters tier. So there's 3 different skill tiers of play, so that no matter where you play in Overwatch, you can kind of feel comfortable finding a team that's in the same SR bracket as you, and that way you're not facing up against masters and grandmasters players. You're facing a little bit more of a competitive environment.
Yeah, and with that little explanation, you're going to get to see that tier in action here as we are going to head into Watchpoint Gibraltar in the Harmony tier. This is Chrysalis versus Firefight. Chrysalis is 2-1 so far in this series. They just took a Kings Row map. They're going to look to close out this series here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. This is Firefight's pick, so they want to run some monkey or some horse. What are the 2 animals?
Yeah, definitely. You probably want to go with the monkey on attack and the horse on defense. Ironically, the horse is actually one of the slower tanks, which is kind of a strange move for Blizzard. If they're going to design a character after a horse, you need to at least allow it to gallop. Okay, that needs to be a move in Overwatch too. Orisa needs a gallop, some sort of speed. But it looks like they are going to go with the defense dive. Coming out of these two teams, it looks like we got Skep on this Echo and Chobi out on the Winston. So we got the Winston Echo Tracer, which is a pretty decent combination if you can make it work. But the Echo without the Mercy, that's gonna be a little tough. Skep is gonna have to keep dropping down into that Ana's LOS and make sure that Ana can actually hit the shots.
Yeah, the Lucio is not something we normally see with a dive composition outside of a monkey diva comp that isn't a dive composition, aka 6-man, which is just a rush composition with a monkey in it. That's where we see the Lucio normally, so not very conventional here, but obviously they are comfortable with it if they're going to be running it here in this decider map. Going to try and use that Lucio perhaps to boop away the opposition that if they dare try to go up top, and it's on Retro here to kind of contest this card as much as possible, as already Sai is going to find some deadly value with that Hanzo here, taking out that Lucio, maybe seen as the weak link in this comp, and the backline just cannot survive here. They're going to trade out a Diva mech, but that's not enough to sustain in this fight. You have 0 healers to aid your DPS here as they kind of just fall down, taken very low, and yep, there's the enemy Ana keeping them up.
Yep. I thought for sure that Antagonize was going to go down there, but 38 managed to keep him alive, hitting those shots onto that Echo, which is not easy. Definitely bringing up that scoped accuracy, but Skep coming back here with that focusing beam, trying to focus down some targets.
Ooh, kind of unlucky there a little bit. Already put the stickies on top of them, but still will clean it up. Will aid the Ana in killing that monkey, and almost gets the remech kill on the backside, but instead just gets bashed straight out of that mech. Now it's on the backside, except for the fact they want to go forward. It's going to be them launching their Diva at the set, but kind of lose them for a second. Then the Nano is now one off, and the re-engage is occurring. Set trying to build up a copied bomb in the meantime, but won't find it.
Yeah. Not sure if that was really the play there. That fight was really sloppy from both teams. I get what Chrysalis was trying to do here, trying to just get in there and defend and then hold that cart. Firefight now taking the high ground, trying to get up and around and make that cart move.
Yeah, and it's going to be that Dragon sent straight into the floor, not maybe where you have wanted it. Almost take out that Tracer, in fact, but Retro is going to do some damage on the backside. The Hanzo losing their life, and a lot of that damage is now gone. The copied Echo here, the Echo copy onto the Tracer, trying to get a pulse bomb as quick as possible. A lot of people use that as kind of an example of how crazy fast you can charge an ultimate, as Fed going to be more effective there as the Echo than the Tracer, as Sep is going to take him out in the end, and now the fight is just a slew of just a brawl here between this monkey as he batters everyone around, as the remech is desperately trying to come in.
Yeah, definitely trying to get a mech back here. That's something Hydros is going to do. So Hydros back in mech now. Everybody's at full strength. Firefight trying to come around, reclaim this high ground one more time. They need to get a pick. They need to get a pick early before they can push it.
And they are going to try and seek that through blue box here. Going to be jumping up. Can't get on this Ana just quite yet. Can anyone touch them? It's going to be Antagonized up for the job. Going to be trying to boost up there in just 1 second. As Sep does fall from behind. Backstabbed by Sai. The assassin in the backside. As Hanzo's looking for something. He is from a clan of assassins, so it's normal for him as he just survives in this brawl of tanks right there. And finally get a doctor point and die, as it looks like a first point hold could be imminent, like you said. Maybe not something. I don't know if that Nano was entirely needed.
Yeah. Once again, another ultimate used right at the very, very end of a team fight, thinking I've got to save my tank. But I don't think it's gonna matter. It looks like you said, we might end up with a really close 1-0 scoreline here. One of these teams got to come out on top, but Watchpoint Gibraltar is a very difficult map to get your head around.
And the supports just don't get back in time to assist your team. You got to keep this Lucio alive. He's beating from the high ground. Could have been dangerous there. The longer you're in the air, the more susceptible you are to just dying out of that beat. And it's going to be Coconut going into this backside, looking for anything with the Primal Rage, trying to bat around this Ana. The beat and the bomb is going to be going to be used to find at least one support, and the other tank is going to find the other. These tanks are just looking for supports here. Sai, finally back from the earlier assassination, to have the dragon throwing it down onto this point. Chobi is low. No primal to speak of, has to just LOS it, as there's just so many bombs going back and forth. How many tank coming out, and oh, Sai was in danger there until they decided to take out the baby diva, and now Chobi is the one in danger, but still more damage on the backside, and there's no one there to touch because they're all lying dead. And like you said, Gibraltar, first holds are a common occurrence.
It really is. There's just a whole lot to that map. It's extremely complex with the various tunnels that lead from high ground to low ground. You know, underneath there's health packs hidden on the insides. There's lots and lots of cover. So like you said, dive is the way to go. There's also, you could have run a pirate ship here that might have been effective. There's so many things that can work on this map, but there's so many things that just can't work. And we just couldn't see anybody getting any purchase here. We did see Chrysalis just have some fantastic defense moves, and you know, they made some mistakes. They used ultimates when they kind of shouldn't have. There was the Echo copy onto the Diva that couldn't even manage to get a bomb off out of it, and then of course the Nano onto the Winston once the fight was already over. But that still wasn't enough. This is a very hard point. It's still up to Firefight. They could hold this even closer if they really give it a shot here. But we have this Ana Lucio coming out again from Chrysalis, and now we have a Brig on the side of Firefight on defense. Hopefully to kind of stop that dive, slow down that team, get a little bit of that stun going on. So we'll see what happens here. Retro coming out on that Widowmaker. Love to see it.
Yeah, I don't really know what his deal is. You know, maybe it's a Lucio one trick, you know, but who are they speeding really is the question. It becomes Retro going low and gonna get out sniped by the Echo there. The power of that character can do so much burst damage even from range. Obviously no fall off, as it is a projectile character, and gonna be just
Retro switching over to Tracer. Good. Don't let your ego get too far out of you. You can't just say, oh, we've got this in the bag. First point hold, easy. I'm gonna stay on Widow the whole time, because that's how you lose games.
Sept, though, is going to get a little bit too big for their britches, is going to get taken out by Antagonize. Well, one clip is going to be looked for here by Retro, not having to expend the recall, just getting that mini health pack, and going to find Antagonize in the end anyways, but going to lose their life for it, as the Dragon now available here for Sai, already charged it up, and the Anti-Nade on the front line is going to push them all into this corner, and now the Dragon is going to put them inside, and Hayes has nowhere to run. The Lucio is stuck back here as well, and that's the fight over, and looking for the next one, but almost beat.
Yeah, Firefight has done a pretty good job of controlling the pacing here. They're making them push in, and then they're getting one pick early, two picks pretty early, and then they're just kind of letting that fight play out, letting that fight stall. I don't know if it's intentional or if they're just having a difficulty cleaning up the rest, but either way, it's working in their favor. And Firefight is going to go ahead in here and invest that Primal Rage.
Yeah, they're looking for this back line here, and here comes the Nano Monkey onto the Ana, and there's just not enough peel in the world to keep them alive. Chobi also finds the Brig as well, and that golden box is straight in sights. The DPS are pushing forward, just running. They don't have supports to run back to, so we're like, we have to go forward, try to do as much damage as possible. But even with all that damage done, even with what little you could do, I don't think it's enough. There's the ultimates of triumph, as Chrysalis will take the series 3-1 here to end it off, as they will be moving on, and Firefight, I believe, will be going down to that lower bracket, unless this is the lower bracket, but I don't believe it is.
Yeah, so Firefight still have a little bit more fight left in them. Sorry. But definitely Chobi here. We're seeing this play of the game. That focus fire here was just incredible. Gets 2, 3, jumps up, gets the Diva mech, gets the baby Diva that comes out. That's all they needed. That was a fantastic finish. Like I said, Watchpoint Gibraltar is just such an awkward map. I'm not sure why Firefight chose it. Maybe we can ask. They're still around in the tournament. They're going to have another chance to maybe pick a little bit more friendly of a map, but it's really tough. We got to see a lot of work there. Chobi definitely doing some good work on the main tank, on that Winston with that focus fire, just kind of, keeping the DPS players low, getting that dive, focusing a target.
Okay.
And it looks like we're going to another match. That one was not enough for us. I got to keep going. I got a whole bag of these, here. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, it looks like we're going to Redacted and Holy Jalapenos. Redacted is currently up 2-1. Holy Jalapenos looking to make this reverse sweep. So we are trying to get into that match right now. I mean, this is a night of Overwatch right here, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen it all. We've seen a little bit of everything. We've seen Watchpoint Gibraltar. What are we gonna see next? Lucio, Zen, Genji.
Maybe. You never know.
It's
You never
2021.
know
We
what
can
you
see
might
anything.
see. Yeah, you never know what you might see.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah.
we are going to see all 3 tiers too. We saw Transcendence tier, and then we saw Harmony tier, and now we're seeing Discord tier.
Yep, gonna be seeing Discord tier here. Obviously, that middle range. We are getting invites into lobbies here. And
Yeah, let's go ahead and switch this up, and we're going to send it to a break real quick, and we will be right back with Redacted versus Holy Jalapenos.
Good evening, everybody. It's me, Worst Casts. I mean,
Wow, Worst, you got a lot more handsome all of a sudden.
I really did, didn't I? No, what are you talking about? Worst is way more handsome than me. Come on. All right. Well, hey guys, it's Mr. Yeti. I am excited to be here to fill in here for Worst Cast, who decided to take a step out and let me fill in. And we're bringing you our third match of the evening. That's quite the workload tonight here. What do you think, NPC?
Yeah, I'm just glad I brought my my throat lozenges here. I got 2 big bags. I'm ready to go all night long. I wanted to see 8 maps, and we're gonna make it happen. Apparently, hell or high water. So it looks like we are gonna go to Dorado. So we are gonna see that something different. Watchpoint Gibraltar was a bit of a strange map coming out of our last 2 teams, but now we're in Discord tier. So we've seen Transcendence tier at the beginning of the night, and we've seen Harmony tier, and now we're on to Discord tier. That's a pretty amazing.
We're getting this is the first time we've ever seen this, and I think EU is the next step here, guys.
Yeah, we got an EU later in the night. We're just gonna, tomorrow morning for them. Yeah.
He's lying. We don't have EU later tonight.
Okay.
But nonetheless,
I was hoping.
We're here tonight. We're here to bring you Redacted taking on the Holy Jalapenos. Neither of these teams have been featured yet this season. So we get our first look at both these teams, at least in the regular season, I should say. And it's exciting. We're going to head over to Dorado and looking forward to bringing this in. Now, we are looking at an 8th seed right now in Redacted, sitting up 2-1. And that's a good spot right now. That's an upset in the making here in the lower bracket. A date with Excalibur in the waiting for the winner, and for the loser, well, they might not be playing Overwatch next week. They might be looking for another game to play.
Yeah. Losers go home. Redacted, like Yeti said, it's an upset waiting to happen here. We're up 2-0, but don't count out the jalapenos yet. There's still a lot of spice to be had in those peppers. We got the Mallard, we got Bethcon, we got Krev, Alex, Chamanzi, and Smarties on support. I did the thing. I just named all the players like I'm big brain and really know this team.
Podcast time for NPC, apparently.
Yeah, lots of veteran players is kind of my point. You know a lot of these names. They've been around the community a long time, and so we're getting to see that. And Redacted, a few returning players, but a few new ones too. So we're seeing a new team here. And I certainly hope, we're going to see the Torbjorn. We're going to see a Torbjorn, and I love to see it.
We're getting the Senku Torbjorn here today. Since you said the names of all the jalapenos, we got Master Yano, we got Pebble Clip, we got MJK, we got Senku, Bad Dragon, and Chesky. Here we go for Redacted, trying to take home this playoff match, and we see Holy Jalapenos will kick off the attack here. They are running the dive comp with the Sombra Tracer, looking to get onto that high ground and get that double shield contested early here. We see Alex on that Sombra, just scouting out. He heads over now, picks up the Echo, putting a little damage from the skies right now. As you see the high ground being vacated now by Redacted. The rotation is on, but the perfect flash bang and headshot from the Cassidy, wielded by MJK5. Coming through in a big way. Wow, that was
I'm glad I wasn't the first one to slip up. Okay?
Yep, no, I get the unfortunate. Hey, I wasn't scheduled to be casting today, so I had no prep for this. But currently Redacted holding strong here on that high ground on point A.
Yeah, definitely an amazing move there from MJK, getting that flashbang and headshot. I would have just fanned the hammer because that's the kind of Cassidy I am. Alex over to that Echo, but not sure how effective that's going to be against the Torbjorn turret and the Cassidy on the other side. So we see why Redacted is giving them a run for their money now at 2-0, but looks like Holy Jalapenos trying to wrap around a flank and make something happen.
You gotta figure they're looking to get Smarties in position right now to get a little bit of healing in. That way they can pop out that nano onto that monkey here. Mallard looking primed and ready to receive that nano boost. But we see a lot of damage right now coming in from Redacted. And the nano boost does go in on the Mallard, the Season 3 MVP in the Harmonies here. Gets that nano boost, heads into the back line, finds MJK. But now the counterattack comes in from Redacted. Bad Dragon finds the Mallard and takes him down. And here goes Redacted, pushing back the aggression of the Holy Jalapenos, Redacted continues to hold strong here on Dorado.
Redacted doing a fantastic job of using the environment, using those solid walls as cover, kind of poking around the corner. Mallard went in to get the Cassidy, but ended up not doing enough damage to actually charge the Primal Rage, which I think was the objective there, and it didn't happen. It's almost at that Primal Rage now, but now Smarty's 51% back to another nano boost.
Smarty's building up those nanos really quick, and they're going to need it. MJK again finds Alex, who has struggled to really find any success so far on that Echo. You got to wonder if maybe a switch is in order, but they're going to stick with it. Try to find a way to break through. 5 ultimates right now for Redacted. They are firmly in control right now. These Holy Jalapenos need to come up with some very big clutch play, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, they definitely need to come up with something. This is going to be a caster curse here, but I do not want to see another 0-1 payload map on screen. But it looks like we just might.
We just might, but that was a lot of ultimates invested by Redacted, and Chimanzi on the Zenyatta, firing down the lane here, finds 2 and a Torbjorn turn for his trouble. It's Chimanzi right now doing some serious work on that Zenyatta. He's on the off roll, and it's doing some work here right now. See finally some damage and some headwind being gained by the Holy Jalapenos as Alex finishes off the Orisa with the focusing beam. And it just appears that finally the momentum is all in the favor of the Jalapenos.
Yeah, Chimanzi definitely, pulling out that Thanos saying, fine, I'll do it myself.
Bad Dragon, maybe a questionable rally there. You got to wonder if maybe a switch is coming. Because that was a really aggressive rally trying to find a way to turn that around. They are not switching. Maybe a small mistake there.
Yeah, Senku still has that Molten Core. I think another switch is in order here once that Molten Core gets used. But that turret has been very valuable, keeping Alex at bay. But when Alex comes around the corner, he's going to grab that duplicate, going to grab onto somebody, probably Sigma or McCree.
Sigma or the Cree, maybe the Brigade.
Cassidy. I screwed it up.
No, hey, it happens. It happens. We're all learning too, everybody. We're all learning too. But we see the Molten Core come in from Senku, putting some pressure on the card as MJK takes Alex out of the sky again. We see the Diva Bomb coming in from Bethcon, does not connect with anybody, but the damage is done now for Redacted as they finish off the remaining aggression from the Holy Jalapenos. Redacted holding strong right now on .2, minute 40 left.
Yep, definitely holding strong here. Sticking with that Brig Baptiste combo, it's actually really strong, especially with the Cassidy, with all that CC from the Orisa and from the Orisa pull and the Sigma rock thing.
Accretion? Oh, here comes the nano boost, and Mallard is putting out the damage. The Tesla gun going hard, but the window with the lift, with the amplification matrix as well. The answer from Redacted and a beautiful combo just cuts that down immediately. And we see Master Yano trying to find Bethcon, and does. Now 60 seconds on the clock. A very good counterattack there from Redacted.
Yeah, there's just a lot of CC coming out of Redacted right now. I don't know how long they're planning to stick on this, but if I was the Holy Jalapeno, some changes would have definitely been in order one fight ago. Sticking with the Winston, Diva, Tracer, Echo, it's so difficult to actually get any value, especially when your healers are Zen, Ana, and they're going to have to stay in the backline. You have to be very mindful of your LOS. Otherwise, that happens.
That is unfortunate there. Mallard absolutely blown up, and 20 seconds on the clock. They have no time for a mistake like that. No more staggers can be had, and they do manage to get everybody else out. But that hurts the Jalapenos now. 15 seconds on the clock. They're going to have one shot at this. The good news, ult advantage, is kind of split right now. We see a couple ults for Holy Jalapenos, but that's going to be really tough to displace with that Bongo being placed by the Orisa. Holy Jalapenos do have a card presence here. They're going to begin to push forward. The Molten Core coming in from Senku, as well as the Deadeye from MJK. The Cassidy comes up and finds a couple there. The Molten Core doing work from Senku, as well as Senku on the Torbjorn is doing the damage needed to get it done for Redacted. And the Holy Jalapenos will be held here on .2. Really
Senku getting that final hammer kill onto Chimanzi. That's the nail in the coffin right there. Man, that was a tough match. The Jalapenos did not adapt nearly as quickly as they needed to. They didn't really adapt at all. They kind of stuck with their initial composition after switching on to that Echo. I wonder if they're going to make any changes here. I wonder if they've learned anything from the style of their opponents and just decided, you know what, I think we need to switch things up just a little bit and kind of get a little bit more range on them, or maybe brawl into them a little bit more.
I would like to see them maybe brawl a little bit more. The first point, you could do a lot of different things. I don't think the dive was really working too well for them here. I would like to see them mix it up a little bit, but they are going to stay on the dive. Put Alex back on that Echo again. I don't feel like it got the value that they were looking for, but then again, what do I know? I'm just like a gold player.
Yeah, same here. All these players here outrank me, and maybe they're gonna try to outthink me here, but it looks like Redacted is going with something a little bit different. MJK going over to the Ashe, and Senku, we're gonna pull out the Genji instead of a Torbjorn, which they're very similar play styles. I think we're gonna see that. Hopefully, their ego hasn't gotten the best of them, and they're not just gonna sit here and think, oh well, this is basically one. It's in the bag, guys. Second point, easy. Because that's how you lose games. We've seen it happen before.
All right, here we go again. The high ground being held. A little bit of an early hold here, perhaps from the Holy Jalapenos, trying to get some early pressure onto this Orisa Diva comp now coming out from Redacted. So a little bit of a change up coming here, bringing in the Diva instead to help contest that high ground. Mallard dropping in, playing the card here. We see the grenade come in, not finding anything with that biotic nade, but the damage is being done right now by Krev on that Tracer, taking down Bad Dragon, as well as Pebble Clip getting DMAC. That is a couple of big kills there for Holy Jalapenos, and the early aggression is paying off.
Yeah, definitely pays off to be early here. Yeah, that fight was won. Mallard could have jumped back up to the safety at the top of the red building, gotten some heals, and then gone back in once the team was ready to regroup.
All right, here we are now. The cart is pushing through the archway. That's a big choke point to break for Redacted. You see Mallard getting back into the fight here now, but Alex finds Chesky. That's a big kill early on, losing the huge source of healing that the Baptiste brings. And then Bad Dragon drops as well. That's both healers now gone as Smarties builds her way up to that nano boost. And right now, Holy Jalapenos positioned themselves beautifully here in the archway. They are in a very prime position.
Yeah, this is a very good place to hold here. Pebble Clip losing the mech early, and then using the remech ability after the fight was lost just gave so much ultimate charge to the Jalapenos. But as we say that Alex goes down, this is the opportunity that Redacted has been looking for.
This is the opportunity, but Senku, my goodness, Senku coming up big on the Hanzo, doing exactly what he needed to do to help Redacted push through that choke. And the Jalapenos running all the way back. They are kiting this back. Are they going to push in? They are going to push in for a final recontest here. Mallard does pick up the nano boost. He counter with Chimanzi, popping the Transcendence as well. That's a lot of healing and a lot of damage. But MJK finding the first kill, but the Beth Bomb takes MJK out as well. But we see the answer is just a trade fest right now. Both teams trading. It's going to just take one player coming up big right now. The question is who is it going to be? Alex holding on to that replication. We'll see if he can find a target. He hasn't yet. MJK finds two more. We said somebody needed to make a play, and it's MJK for Redacted. And Beth pushes onto the card, the last gasp here for the Holy Jalapenos on point A, but it's just too much Redacted here as they push through the cart past point A on Dorado. They got 3 minutes and 45 seconds to push it just in front of the chapel.
Yeah, Alex died with that duplicate online. That could have been used to stall just a little bit longer with the payload exactly where it was. Your spawns were so close, but now that they've captured that objective, the spawns are going to be in the favor.
Huge combo. We see Alex and Mallard coming up with a big combo there with Mallard's jump and those sticky bombs connected with a lot of damage onto Redacted, and they're going to have to be forced back now. Trev is in the backline of Redacted, creating some chaos, but now he's created his way to the spawn room, it looks like, and Redacted is going to get a little bit of positive momentum here as the Holy Jalapenos set back up on the high ground.
Yeah, they've got to set back up. They've got to get where they need to be to defend that cart. But they can't let it make too much progress because that card is right in front of the courthouse. They absolutely have to defend it, and they're going way down there where they are.
Yes. Here comes a here comes a bomb in from Pebble Clip, and that's going to be a lot for too much for Chimanzi to take on. We see Alex does find the Orisa, however, so that's a big kill there. But Alex pops the diva, or copies the diva, gets the diva bomb on a Chesky. That's losing that Baptiste again. A huge source to healing now down. Krebs trying to make a difference there on the Tracer, has not found anybody as of yet, and the kills continue to trade out. Normally this favors the defense, but that Goldbox victory is so close, it doesn't really have any favorite.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get back in there. Beth's gotta go in there and touch that.
Here they go right now. The Dragon is in. We see the Transcendence popped by Chimanzi so they can stay afloat through that Dragon Strike. Bad Dragon gets the res on the Chesky. Here comes the Diva Bomb from Beth. Is it big? It is pretty big. Getting Sanku. Mastriano takes down Beth before she can reback. Oh, but Pebble Clip clutching up right now. It's the Mercy and the Diva against the Tracer and the Ana. And Pebble Clip right now is staying afloat for long and trying to get on that Ana. He does! Pebble Clip finds another one, finds two! Pops the Diva Bomb as well. Here comes Pebble Clip. Mallard pops in onto Bad Dragon. Here's the Diva remake, and that's going to be it for Redacted! And they take down the Holy Jalapeno.
Wow. Another short payload map for Tranquility tonight, but that was explosive. It could have gone either way right there down at the very end. I feel like the Jalapenos needed to switch things up, needed to make some changes, and the good news is they're going to have plenty of time to make changes before Season 8 begins. So they're gone for the tournament, but not forgotten. And Redacted will move on to face Excalibur. Lost their game today against, let me look at my note, the Quaka Queens. Excalibur losing 0-3 under the Quaka Queens. So we'll see how Redacted does against a slightly tougher opponent. And that'll be next week. Are we going to another map? Are we going to go?
I don't
think we're all done
guys.
here.
I think we are all done, but what a night of playoffs. We saw a lot of matches. We saw a lot of absolute beatdowns, and we saw some upsets too. You know, looking around, Paradise Lost books their ticket to the championship bracket with a 3-0 on the Spuds. That's a big win right there. We saw Redacted, obviously, against Holy Jalapeno, a definite upset there. Battalion taking down SS Cuttlefish 3-0. We see GDH and Devil Duke still wrapping up their match as well. Currently, as it sits on this delay, 2-1 GDH. So that one is still in the works. And Bird Society Ibis comes up over over Dirt and takes the win 3-1. So Bird Society Ibis is sitting at the top of the winners bracket right now in the Transcendence tier. They booked their ticket, the championship bracket already. So congrats to Bird Society Ibis with a huge win over Dirt tonight. I think that's an upset for a lot of people. A lot of people were expecting Dirt to take that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Dirt personally.
I'm a big fan of Dirt as well, I gotta say. So a great night here in the playoffs, guys. We've gotten a lot done tonight. Thank you again to Booth for the fantastic production as you do, and thank you very much to Worst for contributing the first maps tonight. And most importantly in my eyes, thank you so much to all the teams who had us part of the cast tonight. We certainly enjoyed getting the opportunity to cast with you. But for NPC, I'm Mr. Yeti. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Hearts want what they want, and then it's too late. When I took the step, was I moved by lust? Was I moved by faith?